Are you tired of VLOOKUP limitation? Can't look to the left? Can't deal with the dynamic columns? Let me show you the smarter way. In today's video, we are diving into index match combo. The power of this formula due that it gives you more flexibility and control over your lookups in Excel. Whether you are beginner or just ready to level up from VLOOKUP or HLOOKUP, this video is for you. We will break it down step by step using a real dataset so you can apply it to your own spreadsheets with confidence that it will work. This is Ahmed Al-Gohari and now you are watching Analytics Gateway. Before we start, let me tell you that the file we'll be using in this video is linked below in the description. You can download it and follow along with me step by step. Alright, let's get started. At the beginning, let's have a look to the table we'll explain on. It's a table with about 20 employee ID. Each employee ID includes some details along with like name, department, amount of sales, what is the target, and what is the bonus percentage. We all know that VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP had some limitation of using it. For example, for VLOOKUP, we will not be able to look up to the left side. We can only look up our values to the right side. And the same for HLOOKUP, we will not be able to look up from bottom to the up. The only thing was available is to look up from up to down. In addition of that, you had to type the column number by yourself. But what if I told you that you can just type here the employee ID and it will get you the sales amount? Then you will tell me that that was already feasible using VLOOKUP. But what if I told you that you can just change the header of the column here, like from the sales amount to the target or to the bonus, and it will getting the data for you? What if I told you that you can now search to the left side or to search from the bottom to the top? It's amazing, right? We can do all of that by using index and match. But what exactly index and match are made of? That's what I will show you right now. So let's pick a random employee ID here. For example, let's type E009. This is the employee ID we will test on, and all we need is to getting the target of it. So let's start by typing equal index and pressing tab. So this is the syntax of the index function. It made from three main parts. The first one is the array, and as we agreed before, that the array is a table or the range that contains the data I'm searching for along with the results I'm seeking to have. Then the second part is the row number, which represents the row number the function will go to. If we press another comma, we'll go to the third part, which is the column number, exactly where is my result I'm seeking to have is located, or in which column that contain my result I'm seeking to have. Let's try it step by step. Let's type equal and then index, pressing tab. The first thing here I need to fill is the array. So let's select the entire table or the entire range, and we'll type from keyboard the F4 to fix the range we are looking at. And then pressing comma will take us to the second part, which is the row number. Let's try it manually first, and then we will know about the importance of using the match instead of type the row number ourselves. So we check the data. It's E009, which is number 10, because this data is sorted in ascending order, and we also have a header here, so it's number 10. And then pressing comma to go to the column number. The column number here is the location or the column where my result I'm seeking for is located. In our example, it's the target. Our target here is located in the fifth column, so we'll type 5 here and then closing the bracket and pressing enter. It's 10k. It's the right result we need, but this result actually is not linked to the employee ID, which means if I typed here E010, it will stay the same number here. How do I link it to the employee ID, and how do I link it to the target amount? In order to having the availability to change that from the drop down list to sales amount, and then I had the new number. So that's exactly what match do. But before we are combining the two functions together, let's have a look about the match. What is match exactly made from? So let's type here match. Actually, match contains three main parts. The first part is the lookup value. The lookup value here means the value I'm looking for. So in our example here, we are looking for this employee ID. This is the key value I'm looking for. The second part is the lookup array, and as we agreed before and all the time, that the lookup array is the range, whether it was a column or a row, that contain the data I'm looking at and the result I'm looking looking for. But in this case, it's a lookup array, means that it's a column or it's a row, because I need to identify exactly where is my data is located, which row and which column. So in our example, let's select this column from the header till the end, and then press and comma to go to the last part of this function, which is the match mode. It's much similar to the row index number and column index number in VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP. It will give me a 3 option. We will describe each one of them in a separate video, but what we actually need in this case is the middle one, which is exact match. So we'll select an exact match and pressing tab or double click on it and close our bracket. If we pressed enter, it will give me an 11. But what is 11 actually mean? It means that the value I'm looking for, which is E010, is located in the 11th row in our selection. If we try to count all of that, it will give me a count of 11. So now I'm having the first dimension of my employee ID, which is 11. But what is the other dimension I'm looking for? At this point, let me tell you that tables or ranges in Excel contains 2 dimensions. One of them is the column and the other one is the row. So I'm having here the row number for sure in my selection or my data set. What is the other one? The other one, which column? In our example here, we have a table or a range made of 6 columns. So if I'm searching for employee ID, I'll do the same using match function to identify the column number I'm searching for. Let's try that. If we get here and clear this cell, I'm pressing equal match. In our case, I'm searching for sales. So I'll select sales and then comma lookup array. This is the lookup array I'm looking at. It's the range only that contains the headers. So I need to identify the location of the column I'm searching for. And then pressing comma. Finally, we'll select 0 for exact match and close my bracket. If I pressed enter, it will give me that the sales amount is column number 4. And from the drop down list here, if I changed it to the target, will give me that it's 5. It's a column number 5 in our selection. The question now, how do I use the function combination between the index and match to make it easy for me to extract the data in an automatic way? That's what we are going to do now. Let's clear this cell and start from the beginning, equal index, and then select the first thing here, which is the array. So I'll select the entire table I'm working at, and then pressing from the keyboard F4 to make sure it is fixed and it will not change if I dragged it to the down or any direction. Then pressing comma to go to the next part, which is the row number. For the row number and column number, I'll use match to help me to identify the row number and column number in an automatic way. So I'll type here match. Match requires 3 main things. The first one is the lookup value. The lookup value inside the row number means that I'm looking at the employee ID. So I'll select from here the employee ID or this cell and then comma. In the lookup array, I'll choose that column that contains exactly what I'm searching for. In this case, it's the employee ID, and then pressing comma. Finally, I'll choose exact match and close my bracket. Now it's referring me back to the index equation or the index function. All I need to do here is to type a comma to move to the third part, which is the column number, where I'll use again match. I'm pressing tab. The lookup value now is the target. I need to identify exactly what is the column number. I'm looking for the result that I need at the end of this formula. So I'll search here for the target or for the value at this cell because it might change. Then pressing comma. The lookup array here is this range that contain all header at the table I'm looking for. Then pressing comma and choose exact match, close the bracket of the match, and then close the bracket of the index function. If I press enter from the keyboard, it will give me a 14K. So let's check that at the table we have. It's the employee ID E010. It's Emma Thomas working at the IT department, and the target is 14K. What if I change the target now to be, for example, the department? It will give me it's the IT department. And the same if I choose to know the bonus, it will give me an 0.12, which if I change it to a percentage, it will give me a 12%. The same here if I choose to check for another employee ID. Let's have a look to E015. I'm pressing enter, it will give me a 9%. For employee ID E015 and name Ethan Lewis. In addition of that, if we change that employee ID to be, for example, a name, and I need to have the employee ID from here, if I selected the employee ID from here, so let's pick a random name and put it here as a value. Like that, it will give me an error. That's because I'm selecting at the employee ID, but I'm searching for the name now. So all I need is to drag this selection from looking at the employee ID to be looking at the name column. If I did so and pressing enter, it will give me the employee ID. Now, it's very easy for you to look into the left side of your selection of your data you are searching for. Another example here, I have a table. We need to enter the employee ID, and I need a function that giving me the name, department, and sales, and all other data is located at this table we are looking at. Let's type, for example, here an employee ID which is E019. That's for example. And start typing our equation to get the name, department without modifying anything else. We will start with equal and then index. Our table array is that range which contain the data I'm searching for and the result I'm seeking to. And then pressing at the keyboard F4 to fix the range I'm selecting. That's because I would like to make sure that when I drag the function or the formula to the right side, the selection kept as it is. And then pressing comma, going to the row number. The row number here we will use match to identify it. So I'm identifying the employee ID, then comma, the lookup array, that column that contains the employee ID, and then comma 0 for an exact match. But before going to the next part, I have to fix K11 by pressing F4 and fix the lookup array. So I'll select it and press F4 and enter comma in order to move to the last part, which is the column number. The column number here is dynamic. It's not the same as department or not the same as sales or target or bonus. I'll use match service here in order to identify which column I need to get the result from. So I'll type here match and then select the data I'm searching for, and now I'm searching for the column number, so I'll select this one and then comma. The lookup array is the header of the columns here. I'm pressing F4 in order to fix it and then 0, close the bracket, close index bracket. And before pressing enter from the keyboard, if you are asking why I didn't fix the lookup value here, that's because I need to move it with me when I drag the equation to the right side. So in this cell I'm searching for the name, but the next one I'm searching for the department and sales and so on. That's why I kept it without fixing. If I press enter from the keyboard, I'll get the name of this employee ID, which is Henry King. What if I drag this equation to the right side? Let's try it. It will give me the department, the sales, the target, and the bonus. And for bonus percentage, we might use a percentage style to get it in a right format, and then can select this and choose it as a comma style. We can clear the fraction. So now we have the employee ID, the name, the department, the sales, target, and bonus. If we change that employee ID to be E005 and pressing enter, it will give me the new name, which is James White, working in a finance department. He sold product with more than 8K. His target was 8,500. I can see the bonus percentage as a 6%. If we validated that data with the data we already had in our table, it's correct. So that's why it's so important to know about using index match together. That's how to use index and match to level up your Excel skills and unlock more flexible and powerful lookups. Finally, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a like. It really helps the channel to grow. And if you are new here, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of the next tutorials. Finally, remember that the practice file is linked below in the description. Download it and try these steps yourself. See you again in the upcoming ones.